All right, so we left off working on our header here. The actual CSS portion of it is probably the easy part. Getting it to do what we want is the hard part. I added some CSS here, a little behind the scenes to kind of mess with this a bit, but I think I'm going to go ahead and revert back to displaying this inline. Or just flex, actually flex, and it does what we want. And the header itself, probably going to want some styling on it, just some padding for now, just to give it a little breathing room. Okay, a big portion of this is letting Alyssa be able to update these settings, which we added the last video. Here I have logos of different sizes. The way I found out to embed an image doesn't really support it at this point, that I can tell. I might be able to fetch it later on, but I'm going to go ahead and just add something like this right now. Since it's on our site settings globally, it's kind of a different challenge to embed this. So I'm going to add this code in our header here. And what essentially this is just like an image tag. It generates an image tag for you for HTML. You can specify the actual file. So logo light, I think, was what we wanted. And to be honest, I might do it 2x and then scale it back with CSS, if that would work. Let's double check. So we're not getting it there. Light. Oh, it's because it's a PNG. There we go. So it's pretty massive, but we'll come back and fix that, I think. But here's the output, as you can see. The site, we might just do like site. Is there like a name? I'm guessing, like, this stuff's still fresh to me, so it might give me an error. Didn't give me anything. So what do we got? Site, roles, images, ID, documents, index. Well, what's the site title? Maybe we'll try that. Still not. Does it need to be HTML or text? What's the deal? Oh, it needs to echo. I'm totally blanking here. There we go. So we got that. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this since we have that alt tag. I might add a title tag on this link just so we have that too. It's a lot of code, but it's for accessibility and SEO. All right, so now we should have that square. Got logo, rel home, title, endless designs. Maybe we could probably format that differently, but it's fine. Okay, so that's that part. I think next we want to tackle how we're going to handle this background image on the home page. I think it will be something we'll do overlaying everything So the header will be actually on top of everything on its own, and then underneath will be what you see on the home page on our design. So this. So I might have like a surrounding div. First off, I know our background's not quite white. So let's get that in order. F6. Go to Css. Base body. Okay. And our actual image size we want for the logo. I'm going to create a new file just for the brand. Underscore. Include that here. So I think it was called brand block or something. I know for sure I added this as a class. Where are we at? Images. How big was this? Logo light is 174 by 73. Oh, I need to actually grab the image. There we go. So I can set a media query that has a larger screen for that to be double that size. It's a kind of a different route to go, but it should work as far as Retina support goes. Okay, so we've got that. Let's get our fonts in order before we go too far. So we use Georgia for the heading, and below we have Source Sans Pro. So I'm gonna go get that from the Google, old Google. Fonts. Source Sans. Okay. And I think we want at least a bold weight. I think I'm using semi-bold for the buttons, so I'm gonna actually do that. And italic. Man, that bugs me. Oh well. Alright, so we'll embed this in our actual header. Snippets header. Suppose I could do what they did there. You notice they don't use the closing semicolons everywhere. That's kind of nice. I'm going to go ahead and continue that trend. Most places that would break a site. Okay. So then, since we've got that in order, let's get a typography style sheet going. Might just do that one as a root. So if we have like a heading font, let's call it Georgia, and serif, and our body will be Source Sans Pro Sans Serif. And we need to basically be done there. Graffiti. I'll put that way up here. So then on our base, we can just do body or font family is body. There we go. And like line height, I don't know, 1.6 rem or something. Font size, I think we made it pretty massive for the most part, like something like that. Or true test is this body copy. 18. No. One rim is about 16 pixels, I think, so something like that. Okay. I know that. I remember this from the last part. It's not quite black. So we've got that. I think our links will probably just have be brand secondary 2. And we'll make them be our brand primary, but we'll edit the header. Because throughout the site, we want that to be kind of consistent. And cover, we could do color, darken. 20%. There's the beauty of Css right there, folks. Let's do 10, I think. Yeah. One thing I like to do on links is do a little transition on them as far as CSS transitions go. To do that, I notice I don't have a mixins library yet. Mixins and Css are just basically pre-bundled code snippets that you can import on actual elements throughout your other style sheets. They're really useful. Highly recommend you use them. The big reason to use them is that it's a very dry approach. You don't have to repeat yourself or repeat typing that you do. Css in general followed that mantra pretty hard, so it makes a lot of sense. Mixins. Probably include this pretty high too. Possibly first. I also forgot to reset this browser, so I need to do that too, like with normalize. In fact, let's go do that real quick. Make sure I got all this. Yeah. Version 7. Let's just do the one called reset. Grab that. That one will be very first. So in our mixins, I want to add a transition. I already know I'm going to want a breakpoint one for mobile. Snippets, lab, see transitions. There we go. These also help a great deal with vendor prefixes. This should go here. I'll include this transition, and I'll do the same with include breakpoint. Okay, so as we add them, we'll add more to that file. Breakpoint, I have kind of a general one to use. It's kind of a big ass snippet thingy. I set this up a long time ago. It does, I go backwards. A lot of people are like, why wouldn't you do min width first and then go mobile first? And to me, it's, I don't know. I just have always done it this way. So at the end of the day, I feel like I still get the job done. And it's probably about the same amount of code. So I need to maybe break that habit just for a trial run and see what happens, but we'll see. All right, so we're getting there. Our styles are there. Our headings are set, or our fonts, I mean. I do need to declare actually that'll already be brand secondary. Okay, and now I need to figure out that image. I'm gonna already fix that too. So in our header menu, this is displaying flex. We'll do flex direction, I think, column. Huh? Always the first one. Row reverse, column, flex direction, column. He's got an example down here into flex with 8 just fine. Add that. Still not doing it. Let's do this. Menu, display flex. What am I not getting? Partials, mix-ins, parent style sheet. Oh, that's because it's wrong. Needs to be one more mix-ins. There we go. Still not doing it though. Let's double check. I include transition. Where did I write that? Invalid include. Oh, okay. Import. Include is when you include it. Wish they were named something way different so it's easier. And we lost our styles. Oh, there we go. Cool. So see, it's displaying column now. And I need to add padding. None to that. Right on. And I noticed our grid's massive at mobile. And I can't spell here. So medium would be, I have a snippet, by the way. Make yours. It's so much time saved. This needs to be between on like medium and I mean realistically I'm probably gonna make it a menu itself anyway. That worked. So we'll figure it out. And before I forget, the padding this puts on I don't like. Along with the container width. And I will probably remove that. Let's get out of this mode. We've got a logo, we've got this. It's not working now on the higher part. How does this work? I don't know, we'll figure that out when we get to it. It's kind of annoying though. Okay, so let's try to get that image in here. So that's gonna be on the home page. So So why don't we add that front matter homepage hero? I did. Okay. So if you missed that video, I already went ahead and added content to this homepage, and we used this to actually create the fields, and we'll actually reference these titles here in our theme and output the content. So let me see if I can do this right. Hero image is what we're looking for, and it's going to be on the page. So since we're on the homepage template, it will know to look on that page. So let's see if we could at least just get it to output. So I think it's like PHP site, this thing, and like HTML. First you have to echo it. Maybe this is why I think I wrote site. Okay, there's that. All we need to do now is just have like a div class, let's say like hero background. And I think this will be outside of this dealio. And we're going to position this like absolute and stuff, so it'll be, I think, the way we want it. And we need like how should I do this? If it's a background image, we'll do a style, inline style, background image, URL, and then we'll echo that URL there. Assuming that's the right link, I think it needs to be a content file. Test. Chris Endless Hero. It needs to be, it doesn't exist. Yeah. That's just the name. Here image. What did we do on the header again? Site image. Alright guys, I had to do some digging, and there's, when you return an image, Kirby saves the file name of the image in a content file if you use the toFile field method. So we needed the file to be converted, I guess, or some shit. I don't know. Kind of a weird way to go about it. I think it'd be great to just return the absolute piece of an image, you know. I saved a variable of image, and again, we referenced this current page, which is the home page, and used our front matter or YAML, which is called hero image. If you look in site blueprints and home, that's this one right here. So then we reference that directly from the panel, which is right there. It's the same thing. And then we output that URL directly into our theme. And here we go. And it references that. So that's comforting. Now I know how to do that. I didn't at first, and I was kind of just running through this, trying to make it work, but we made it. Okay, so this div is essentially going to be naked. It won't even be anything. It's just going to be a block with a background that we're going to position to the left, and then it'll have a certain height on it, which we'll get from our design. Let's see what the height is. We're right at, it's a large image, 863. Yeah. So let's set that height in our CSS. That will need to change for mobile, I'm almost certain. We'll get there. So header, What do we call that? Hero background. So let's make a new folder called pages. And inside that, another folder called home. And of course, inside that, we will have our actual home file. So in pages, I want to make a pages file. Partials, pages. Oh, that's right. Just looked weird. Okay, so in this one, I want to reference at import home. Okay, and then we need to actually import pages too into our global style. That's going to be pages, which can be confusing, I know, but if you look at the hierarchy, it makes sense. Save that, home, and then we'll do hero background here. Do height of 863, I think. There we go. And we already have the background URL set on the element in an inline style. So what we want to do is do a few more tweaks. Repeat. No repeat. Okay. Scoots this back over. I'm going to position our header. Absolutely. And that means we need to make the body element positioned relative. Of all things in CSS, that's probably the hardest thing to understand, I think, for most people. I could be wrong, but it took me a while to grasp the absolute to position to static relationship. And until you move things around on a page and understand what the layers are going on, do you really understand it? It took me a really long time, personally. I wanted to set the header to be position absolute. Is I going to throw it? Yeah, it's going to be weird. So width will be so there we go. We can do background position here. If I can spell, it's hop left. Shouldn't change anything. And then background size. I'm trying to see how this can work. We probably don't want cover because that's going to just kind of do that. Yeah. Contain. Does that do anything? Okay. Height. I suppose I can make the width and height what the actual image is, which is, give me your size now. Okay, I'm gonna have to source that file. What do we got? Wish this would just tell something would tell me. It'd be great. There we go. 714 by 862. So this is actually a little too high. Okay, so if we were to, I don't know, we could also make it go full width, I think, on mobile, but so now I think if we did that, it kind of does something like so. assuming we want that. I don't know. But for now it's working, so that's great. We've got it positioned absolutely. Awesome. It's a little big actually, so we might have to tweak the size because it's like taking up half the freaking viewport here, but then we're gonna have that square thing right here. But there's supposed to be some space on this side. So we might have to tweak that, but I did design it rather large, but we can always refine. So I think that wraps up this video, guys. I'm going to move on and create that box I just referenced in the next part. And I think we'll just do each piece of this design chunk by chunk and move down the page. And then I think as time goes on, I might finish out the services page at the design itself. Maybe show you guys off screen after the fact. But yeah, I think that's a good enough for now, and I will see you in the next video. As always, if you liked this one, please like or subscribe. It lets me know that you are interested in getting more of content like this. It really helps me from an analytics perspective to know you are liking it. So I will see you later. Peace.